Welcome to Science Wonder, where we make the complex simple and the mysterious understandable. Our mission is to explore the wonders of the universe and the intricacies of the world around us, unraveling the mysteries hidden within the realms of space, nature, technology, and more. If you're an avid learner, a curious mind, or simply a lover of knowledge, then you're in the right place. We're here to take you on a journey of discovery, exploring the unseen, the overlooked, and the underappreciated marvels of science and the world we live in. So, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us in this journey of discovery. Today we're going to dive into a topic that's very close to home, yet often overlooked: the global plate. Yes, we're talking about the food we eat, or rather, the food we waste. So sit back, grab a snack, but remember to finish it. And let's delve into the unseen impact of food wastage. Have you ever wondered about the journey your leftovers take after you toss them into the bin? That half-eaten sandwich, the untouched pasta, the overripe banana, they all embark on a path that extends far beyond your kitchen. What we're about to explore is the unseen impact of food wastage. Food wastage isn't just about the food itself, but rather the colossal waste of resources that go into producing, transporting, and disposing of it. Let's think about it. That uneaten sandwich, for instance, isn't merely a handful of bread and filling, it's the culmination of a long chain of events. It's the grain that was grown and harvested, the water it consumed, the fuel used to transport it, the energy expended in baking it into bread, the resources that went into raising the chicken for the filling, and the list goes on, and it doesn't stop there. Once tossed into the bin, the journey of your leftovers takes a dark turn. They're hauled off to landfills where they decompose and release methane, a greenhouse gas that's over 20 times more potent than carbon dioxide in trapping heat in our atmosphere. So, that sandwich you didn't finish? It's now contributing to global warming inch by inch, bite by bite. We're not just talking a sandwich here or a banana there. Globally, around 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption, that's approximately 1.3 billion tons, gets lost or wasted every year. That's equivalent to over 200 Empire State Buildings made entirely of food. And the water wasted, it's about 3 times the volume of Lake Geneva. This is the unseen journey your food waste embarks on. A journey of wasted resources, environmental harm, and missed opportunities to feed the hungry. And yet, it's a journey that's largely invisible to most of us. We see the food in our plates and the leftovers in the bin, but rarely the wider implications of our wasteful habits. And yet, despite these staggering impacts, most of us remain blissfully unaware of the scale of the problem. So just how big is the global food wastage problem? Picture this. Every year, approximately 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption worldwide goes to waste. That's around 1.3 billion tons of food. This is happening while nearly 1 in 9 people across the globe go to bed hungry every night. Now let's take a moment to delve into the countries contributing the most to this problem. High on the list are the United States and Australia, where each person wastes nearly 300 kilograms of food annually. That's the equivalent of a small grand piano, or 2 fully grown pandas. Europe isn't far behind either, with the United Kingdom, Germany, and the Netherlands among the top food-wasting nations per capita. In contrast, Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia have the lowest levels of waste per person. But even here, significant amounts of food are lost during production and distribution processes. But why should we care about food waste? Aside from the obvious ethical issues, it poses a significant threat to global food security. We're not just wasting food, we're wasting the resources that go into producing it: water, land, energy, labor, and capital. Moreover, this wasted food ends up in landfills, where it decomposes and releases potent greenhouse gases like methane into the atmosphere, contributing to global warming and climate change. In a world where over 800 million people are undernourished, these figures are not just alarming, they're heartbreaking. It's clear that reducing food waste is not only a moral imperative but also a practical solution to a range of global issues. So, the next time you throw away half a loaf of bread or let a bag of apples rot in the fridge, remember, it's not just food you're wasting. You're contributing to a global problem that impacts our planet's health and the lives of millions of people. These figures are not just numbers on a page, they represent a significant threat to our planet and its inhabitants. But the impacts of food wastage extend beyond just wasted resources and food insecurity. When we talk about food wastage, we're not just talking about the leftovers from your dinner plate, we're talking about an issue that has far-reaching effects on our environment. Firstly, let's touch on greenhouse gas emissions. You see, when food is discarded, it often ends up in landfills where it decomposes and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas that is 25 times more harmful than carbon dioxide. This contributes significantly to global warming, exacerbating the climate crisis we're currently facing. Now let's talk about deforestation. To meet the global demand for food, vast areas of forests are cleared to make way for agricultural land. This not only leads to habitat loss for countless species but also reduces the planet's capacity to absorb carbon dioxide, thus amplifying the effects of climate change. When we waste food, we're indirectly endorsing the need for more agricultural land, hence more deforestation. Then there's the issue of water pollution. Agriculture is a thirsty industry, accounting for around 70% of the world's freshwater usage. The excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides in farming contaminates our water bodies, leading to the death of aquatic life and the disruption of entire ecosystems. Moreover, when we waste food, we're essentially squandering all the water that was used to grow it. And let's not forget about biodiversity loss. The conversion of natural habitats into agricultural land, coupled with the pollution of water bodies, threatens the survival of numerous species. This loss of biodiversity weakens our ecosystems, making them less resilient to climate change and other environmental shocks. In other words, when we waste food, we're not just throwing away something we didn't eat. We're also contributing to some of the most pressing environmental issues of our time. It's not just about wasted resources or food insecurity, it's about the health and future of our planet. We need to realize that our actions have consequences, and it's time we start taking responsibility for them. So, where does the average person fit into this picture? You might be surprised to learn that we as consumers play a significant role in food wastage. Yes, that's right, our everyday habits, attitudes, and behaviors can contribute to this global problem. Let's start with habits. Have you ever found yourself at the grocery store, mindlessly filling your cart with more food than you can possibly consume before it goes bad? Or perhaps you've cooked a large meal, only to throw out the leftovers because you're tired of eating the same thing. These common habits contribute to a significant amount of food waste. Then, there are our attitudes. We've become accustomed to the idea of abundance, often buying and preparing more food than necessary. We're drawn to the allure of a full fridge or a heaping plate of food without considering the potential waste. We also tend to be picky eaters, rejecting food that's perfectly good, but not quite perfect in appearance. This attitude not only leads to waste at the consumer level but also fuels waste in the agriculture and retail sectors. Our behaviors too play a role. Think about how often you eat out or order takeout. These behaviors can lead to waste, as restaurants often serve oversized portions and excess food ends up in the trash. But here's the good news. As much as we're part of the problem, we can also be part of the solution. By becoming more mindful about our shopping habits, adjusting our attitudes towards food and changing our behaviors, we can make a significant difference. This can be as simple as planning meals, buying only what we need, eating leftovers, and embracing imperfect produce. Remember, every little action counts. The food we waste today could be the meal someone else needs tomorrow. It's about respect for the food we have, for the resources it takes to produce it, and for the people who go without. As consumers, we have a powerful role to play in reducing food wastage and its impacts. You may be wondering, what can I do to help? Well, there are a myriad of ways, big and small, that each one of us can contribute to reducing food wastage right from our homes. It all starts with being mindful of our consumption habits and making a conscious effort to change them. Let's begin with meal planning. It might sound tedious, but planning your meals for the week can drastically cut down on food waste. It helps you buy only what you need, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. When you know exactly what you're going to make and when, you're less likely to overbuy or forget about that lonely cucumber in the back of the fridge. Now let's talk about shopping. It may be tempting to buy in bulk, especially when there's a sale. But ask yourself, will you really use all of it before it goes bad? If not, it's better to buy only what you need. Remember, a bargain isn't a bargain if it ends up in the bin. Next, let's tackle leftovers. Don't view them as a boring repeat of yesterday's dinner, but as an opportunity to get creative in the kitchen. Use that extra pasta to make a frittata, or turn that leftover roast into a delicious sandwich. The possibilities are endless, and you might just discover a new favorite recipe in the process. And finally, educate yourself about food storage. Did you know that storing fruits and vegetables in the right way can extend their freshness? Simple tricks like storing apples and bananas separately or keeping onions in cool, dark places can help your groceries last much longer. Remember, every small action counts. It might not feel like your efforts are making a big difference, but imagine if everyone started implementing these strategies. The collective impact would be enormous. Together we can make a big difference in reducing food wastage and creating a more sustainable future.